So which was better?
Was it a rough night?
This is the night of two movies that are under 2 hours long, technically, but feel like 3 hours.
Both felt way longer than they were.
This movie felt so long. So long. God.
It really did remind me of Sisters a bit. The linorama of it. But the thing is, it was better than Sisters.
Yeah.
I will give it that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a similar vibe, and until they started the dead stripper plot, I fucking hated everything about it.
Uh-huh.
And that was the only decent part of it, but they kept stopping the plot to do linorama shit.
Yeah.
And it was awful.
It was awful, and it was very explain the jokey.
When they did the joke in the airport.
Yeah.
When they pop the champagne and everyone freaks out and then falls down, and then she goes, "Oh, 'cause it sounded like a gunshot. Let's go."
Oh, she not only said that, just in case you, the audience, are so stupid that you didn't know that everyone in this airport hit the ground when she opened the champagne bottle. Not only does she go, "'cause it sounded like a gunshot," but she follows it up with, "'cause we're in an airport." Just in case you're that fucking dumb. Ugh. And everything about her, I hated in this fucking movie.
She was
Jillian
obnoxious.
Bell.
She was obnoxious.
She is easily the worst part of this fucking movie.
And they try to do this sort of redemption
Oh,
thing
fuck
for her
that.
at the end, and she's the worst kind of person.
Yeah. I'm related to people like that. And we don't talk to them. She spends this movie, Jillian Bell spends this movie being a fucking jealous, overbearing monster. And then when she's finally called out on it towards the end, we're supposed to feel bad for her. And Scarlett Johansson is giving this guilt trip for finally saying she's a bitch. And suddenly they're trying to lay a guilt trip on her, and we're supposed to feel sorry for Jillian Bell. No. Because it turns out that there was a pre-bridal party that Jillian Bell wasn't invited to, and it's supposed to be this treacherous moment, but I've just spent the last hour with this monster.
Why would you want to invite her anywhere?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's oh, she just didn't want to talk to her because she's busy with the thing. It's no, she made time for her other friends, just not the fucking obnoxious bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't want to ruin your bridal shower with the most annoying person on the planet? Whoa.
This movie is very safe things. That's exactly what this movie is.
It's they wanted to do that kind of plot. They had a dead stripper and they're trying to hide it or whatever. But they want to have their happy ending too. And so they sort of everything gets tied up really neatly by the end.
This isn't the kind of movie that Very Bad Things... Very Bad Things has teeth. It goes places. It goes there in terms of how dark it gets. If you liked Very Bad Things, you're not gonna like this movie. And if you didn't like Very Bad Things because it is that dark and because it is that nihilistic, you might like this. This is a safer version of Very Bad Things.
It almost is worse, though.
I agree. This movie is worse.
Because they try to make it out the idea of the plot, doing this dark comedy that they've killed someone and they're covering it up, just because it was okay in the end, doesn't make any of their actions any better.
Not only
even
was
if it was an accident,
Well, I'm okay to go along with that, because it is a dark comedy. It's just not as dark as Very Bad Things, which you gotta try hard to be as dark as Very Bad Things. But what I hated about this is that it's telegraphed as soon as that stripper walks in.
Yeah,
As soon as, sorry if we're spoiling Rough Night, but as soon as this stripper walks in, you know he's not the actual stripper. You know he's gonna turn out to be
a criminal.
Some kind of criminal, like a rapist or a thief or a murderer or something. And that's what happens. And so you spend 90 minutes of this movie knowing where it's gonna end.
Yeah, like, you know what their get out of jail free card is gonna be.
I mean, I like when the other thieves show up, I didn't mind that because one of them was Dean Winters, and I fucking love Dean Winters, and this movie is just in a long line of movies like Turtles Out of the Shadows that Dean Winters is just so much better than this material.
Man. Can we talk about that scene where one of the girls has a threesome with the neighbors to try and get a non-existent tape?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how fucking creepy that was.
Yeah, but it was nice seeing Demi Moore back.
It was, I guess, that couple was funny until that scene. Because, like, I mean, I don't know, like, having sex that she doesn't want to have, like,
but she did get into it, like, I mean,
it's really questionable to me.
I don't know, like,
it doesn't fly with me.
They tried playing a scene like that safe in this movie.
Yeah.
Whereas Very Bad Things had people getting felt up at a funeral, this movie, like, it's Ty Burrell and Demi Moore, and they're these swingers neighbors, and Zoe Kravitz has to get this security tape, so she ends up having a threesome with the both of them, and they try getting around it in that when Zoe Kravitz is talking about it afterwards, she's treating it like it was this, like, really orgasmic experience for her.
Yeah, but after it happened, she was upset that there was no tape. So in the scene itself, it didn't seem like she was. And then afterwards, she was. So it was very disconnected.
Probably because the scene of her being okay with it afterwards was maybe added to the movie later.
It kind of seems questionable. I don't know about that. You know, one other thing, too. Just as a note, I don't believe that a single character in this movie is straight. Everyone seems so gay. Scarlett Johansson's fiance especially did not seem straight.
Yeah.
All of them, like, I'm like, I don't buy any of these hetero romances they're trying to pass off.
Well, I mean, it's more believable than Ellen DeGeneres and Bill Pullman.
Not even the criminals seem straight. Like,
yeah.
Very unrealistic movie.
I was kind of thinking. I mean, it looked like the joke they were trying to do was that when the men were having their get together, it was very
feminine.
Yeah,
and what you would expect the girls to be doing.
It was like a wine tasting, and Eric Andre was there. The movie had moments.
The hardest I laughed at the movie was when the fiance is at the gas station.
Yeah.
And then he's in a diaper because he's trying to go across the country without stopping, and a couple guys try to get him to suck their dicks, and he's like, why does this keep happening? Wait, let me introduce you to someone. And he plays like matchmaker with two blowjob guys at a gas station. That was kind of funny. I laughed at that.
I did too. His plot line, which is they say in the movie, like, he gets the inspiration from that astronaut a few years ago who put the diapers on and went to go catch her cheating husband because he thinks Scarlett Johansson might be cheating on him because of this phone call and they had to destroy their phones. So his plot line was kind of funny. Anytime
it was actually the plot, it was fine for the most part. It's just all of the Linerama bullshit they kept stopping for that really pissed me off.
Yeah, because most of that was just Jillian Bell either explaining jokes or inserting jokes where it's really tone deaf that there would be a joke, or just repeating something somebody else said, because that's ad-libbing. But of the girls, I liked Kate McKinnon quite a bit in this. And
the part with the pizza was funny with her.
Yeah.
She's trying to act casual and then gives them the money and just leave.
Yeah, she had some funny moments in this. Like when
and it made a little more sense too. From the trailer, it kind of seemed like she was just doing an annoying voice just to do an annoying
usually
voice.
what she does.
But it made sense with the character.
Yeah.
And like that, it made sense that the character would need to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she did get some laughs from me.
Yeah, she could throw a look really well in this movie, and in other, whenever I've seen her on Saturday Night Live, I've liked her just fine. But in movies, I've usually been like, what's your damage? Like, whenever she's in these, I'm like, what? I don't get what you're doing. Okay, whatever. In this, there actually is a little bit of context for how she's acting in this film. So I did get some laughs out of her. When she showed up, like, I couldn't stand hanging out with the other four in this movie, really. But once she showed up, like, when she was coked up and dragging her luggage down the street, that was really funny.
Well, because the other one, before she showed up, it was like there was no conflict. It was just you were stuck with a bunch of drunk people at a party.
Yeah.
And I hate movies that feel like you are stuck with drunk people.
That's what Sisters was.
Yeah. And the opening scene was like a party where they're all drunk. So like from the first seconds, I knew what they were going to do. And then you have to follow that for a long time before they actually... it's sort of conflict because what Jillian Bell is her name?
Yeah.
She was jealous of Kate McKinnon's character and acting all bitchy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Then it started having something to do with anything.
Mm-hmm. Something to do with anything.
Because the rest of it was just them like, we're girlfriends and we love each other. We'll say something stupid. And that lasted for like 6 hours.
When you know every step that a movie is going to take in terms of its, not just the plot with the dead stripper, like that's obvious from the get-go, and that's a thing that makes it seem longer, because you are just slowly waiting for it to get to where you know it's gonna get, and it's gonna treat it like it's a twist, and no, but
it wasn't.
Even the relationships are easy to pinpoint. Like,
yeah,
you knew
it was going to end with those two girls getting together.
Yeah.
You knew that Scarlett Johansson was going to get with her husband, and then it was going to be like she wins the campaign anyway, and she was going to make up with Jillian Bell's character because they had the most conflict. Like, you knew exactly what was going to happen.
I didn't like this movie. I really didn't like this movie. I liked Very Bad Things way better than this. At least I respect Very Bad Things.
When they started getting into the action stuff with Scarlett Johansson, I was like, this is alright. It's a different movie, but...
Yeah. Like, this is suddenly a different Scarlett Johansson movie.
It kind of felt like they were just like... They just cast Scarlett Johansson because they knew there was going to be an action scene there. Yeah. And they're like, she can kick some ass.
She can do it. She's better in this than she was in Ghost in the Shell. Like I said, it's maybe not the worst. It's probably better than the movie Stag, which also has this plot line. Stag came out like around the same time as Very Bad Things, but it was done as a straightforward thriller, and it had Andrew McCarthy and John Henson of Talk Soup was in it. I think Taylor Dane played the stripper, but this is probably a little bit better than that movie, but I don't know. Just watch Very Bad Things. It
seemed like they were just like, let's twist the genders around and then do a plot we've done. Mm-hmm. And that kind of is where it ends.
Man, I'm like... This is, one of those, like, in-between summer weekends where it's just a couple of fucking throwaway movies that are being released.
I don't feel like either of these movies are worth recommending or watching.
No, this one, man, if you want to give it a shot, wait until it's on Netflix. Sure. I don't know which I would rather sit through, this or Cars 3, because they both felt long.
Man.
Like, I laughed more in this, but they both felt so long.
I feel like this was a worse movie, but it made me feel something. And
Yeah.
Cars 3 didn't.
No, it really didn't.
It was such a vacant movie. I was so bored through most of it.
Mm-hmm.
And this, like, I laughed at some parts.
Yeah.
Like, I laughed when they were getting the adult diapers and the lady's like, these ones leak, get some different brands. And they're playing, like, whatever that song was.
I laughed at the beginning of this film when it was a frat sorority party or whatever, and they're playing like beer pong, and then there's like the girl comes in and she's like, I'm gonna piss now. What? And she pisses on the floor. Whoa, girls piss. And then it cuts to the title card, Rough Night. And I could see you out of the corner of my eye just slowly look over at me. I looked over and you're like, this is gonna be a long sit. And then it flashed 10 years later. I'm like, you're right, this movie's 10 years long.
Man, what did that have to fucking do with anything? That
Nothing.
set the tone completely for what kind of movie you were in. That some random girl's pissing in the corner and then title card, all right, I guess we know what kind of movie this is.
It's a movie.
It's like Neighbors 2 without the jokes.
Yeah, Neighbors 2 was way funnier than this.
Yeah. Gosh, like, and I feel like the comedians that that I'm familiar with in this movie, they've been funnier in other things. But the girls, like, they had such shitty material to work with, and maybe because half of it seemed like improv that should have been cut.
I'm sure it was.
The guys sort of made me chuckle, but they weren't in it very much. So I mean,
The girls have been funny in other things. Ilana Glazer is funny in the bits I've seen of Broad City. Kate McKinnon I've seen be funny on Saturday Night Live, and even Jillian Bell I've seen funny in other things. It's not this. Christ.
It's another one that, again, if it wasn't Linerama, it would be a much better sit.
Yeah.
If they had just stuck to a scripted plot, like, it was more about that than the trailer made it seem. The trailer made it seem like it was just a party, and as an aside, a guy dies.
Oh.
At least the one I saw.
The ones I saw made it look like this.
Okay.
I mean, like, that was it. That the plot was like, oh, the stripper dies. Yeah, no, I can't really recommend it. Like I said, maybe as like a Netflix watch or something like that. If you're really sold on the trailers, and the trailers, it's not like I saw the trailers and were like, oh, that looks like shit. I thought, I don't know, maybe there's a chance it might be alright. I don't know, but it's really not. It's extremely predictable, and that just makes it an even longer sit. It really does. Like it. Because Sisters felt long and was long.
Yeah.
Sisters was a little over 2 hours. This one is technically not long. It's like an hour and 40 minutes long. But fuck off. It feels so much longer.
Especially when they get to the end where they just have to do the obligatory, here's this person getting with this person, and now this person. Let's go from person to person just to, like, let you know exactly what you knew was going to happen happens. And then you think it's going to be the end credits, and then they pan back down to do, like, oh, they're taking a picture, but they're arguing first.
This movie has the balls to do a fake out title card at the end.
Man.
Like, whoa, don't... Leave us wanting more, movie, please. It pans up at the word the and comes back down for another joke, which I won't spoil it for you if it landed or not. And then it pans back up and says the end. So that's the
I think
great.
Scarlett Johansson was fine. She wasn't like
Sure,
the
yeah.
worst. She wasn't like obnoxious. She was more of the straight man character. And
She was having a good time in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun seeing her in a goofy comedy like this. I just wish it was a better movie.
Yeah, I couldn't recommend this to anyone. There's so many better things to watch. Like, if you're looking for a better comedy, there's way better comedies. If you're looking for a better plot about a stripper dying, there's better movies about that. If you're looking for black comedy, it doesn't have enough teeth in it to be satisfying in that way.
No.
So it's just for no one.
I didn't like. I don't think it's gonna. I've probably seen 10 movies this year that are worse than this, but this was still pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna do well. Maybe
I don't
Scarlett
know.
Johansson will get people in there, but it seems like a middle-of-the-road comedy, honestly.
There was more people in there than were at Cars 3.
There was like, maybe like, less than 10 people in this theater.
If there was just like one other guy in there, it'd still technically be more people that were in Cars 3.
That's true.
If we weren't at Cars 3 just solely for the sake of reviewing it, that would have been an empty theater for Cars 3 at 7 o'clock at night. When they saw Cars 2 at midnight 4 or 5 years ago, there was more people at that, which was kind of disturbing.
They scared all the parents away. They're like, I don't want to see Lightning McQueen die.
Yeah, they were all at the IMAX screening. Honestly, there were like 3 screenings going on for Cars 3 in there, so they probably just were at the IMAX screening or
we
the 2D
really missed out on
screening.
seeing all that boring shit on IMAX.
Oh, it's like my ears can bleed like in The Mummy. Well, any other final thoughts about this?
Don't watch it. I wouldn't even recommend it as a rental. Just don't bother.
I could say if you're curious enough, maybe test it on Netflix, and if it seems like you're enjoying it, sure, fine. But whatever, it's whatever you do with your Friday night. All right, next, I think a couple of us are gonna try to see 40 Meters Down at some point, because that's also playing in Springfield. Other than that, I think the next big one is Transformers. It's Transformers 5. I think that's a midweek release next week. So if you want to get alerts for when we go live on these, which now is like anytime we do one on Thursday night, we'll do them live. Beforehand, it was just like the one main one, and then the other one was pre-recorded. Now I think we'll start doing all the Thursday ones live. So if you want to get notifications for that, just subscribe to us on our YouTube page, youtube.com/StonedGremlinProductions. See ya.